Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. Thank you so much for joining and for being a part of our Ladies Power Lunch community. Whether you're joining us on our Facebook group or you're joining us on our YouTube page, or if you are tuning in to us over in podcast land. So we have a very special guest host today, Jen Jones, and she's going to be really sharing with us some outstanding information that everybody needs. If you are a female entrepreneur, this is information not to be missed. Why is Jen our guest host today, you might ask? Well, Jess is a part of our Visibility Circle. And what Visibility Circle is an opportunity for us to get in front of our ideal clients in a way that is organic and in a way that is aligned. And so we have the opportunity to share Jen with all of you on our podcast, our Ladies Power Lunch podcast, on our Ladies Power Lunch YouTube channel, and of course, here in our Facebook group, and to have an opportunity for all these, maybe in total 10, 20,000 people to actually have an opportunity to see Jen, to learn what she's about, and to take part in any activities that she is offering. So, Jen, welcome. I'd love to invite you to go ahead and share with everybody who you are, what it is that you do, and what message you have to share with us today.
How long do we have? No, I'm just kidding. So I'm Jen Jones, and I am the founder and intrapreneur at Connect and Elevate. And this is Connect and Elevate is a place where I bring people together to connect and to elevate, hence Connect and Elevate, and taking a look at the four pillars that get you from here to here. So talking about being your authentic self. And we also are talking about your energy awareness, which, if you've been on, that's sort of has been my key topic lately is managing your energy and really being aware of it. And then it's relationships and community. And lastly, it's building your business on referrals. So taking all of these four pillars and bringing them together to build your business on relationships, community, while also managing your energy. So that is how I help my clients, and they are all introvert women entrepreneurs, hence Intropreneur. And Intropreneur is the name of the book that is launching next month. I am turning 44 next month, so we are launching on my birthday. We had to push it back a little bit, but that's okay. Everything happens for exactly at the right moment, the right time. And isn't it cool too? My birthday's on the 24th. So we will be launching 1, 24, 22, and I'll be 44. It just, all those numbers get me excited anyway. So I'm like, that's it. Those are the numbers that we're doing. So today we're going to talk a little bit about being your authentic self. And this is like being your true self, aligning with your heart. There's different phrases that you can use to really think about what does it look like to be your authentic self. Honestly, I think this is a journey for all of us to be on. It's not a destination. It's a journey is what I meant to say. So I'm going to start by pulling a card. So Work Your Light Oracle cards. It's like one of my favorite ones, mostly because there's like pinks and blues and purples, as you can see. Those are some of my colors. Black is not usually my color to wear, but I was feeling chilly today in Massachusetts and thought, why don't I just pop on a sweater? So I am going to pull a card for us today. And it's called The Crumbling. I'm not going to read it. I can post it later. What are you clinging on to? So I want to share this. This is pretty powerful picture. What are you clinging on to? So I've been reading or listening to, because I started doing audiobooks. I started listening to Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. And in there talks a lot about, or even his other book is really just being in the present moment. And so what are you clinging on to? And he talks about detachment. I thought this was really funny. He says, people ask you, how can you detach from things? And he pretty much said, like, you can't. The only way that you can detach from something is when you detach from something. There's nothing you can do to actually detach from, whether it's an outcome or something that you want to happen. And I thought, I never thought of it that way. I always thought, like, if I just keep practicing doing things, I'll detach from an outcome or detach from, okay, I want to, hit this goal. Not that goals aren't important, but I know that for me, being emotionally attached to things is definitely something that I have been working on. And that was just a light for me going, like, the more you're aware, it's not anything that you're going to do. Just one day you're going to wake up and go, holy crap, I'm not attached to this. So I'm going to get started. So being your authentic self, if you were on a couple weeks ago, we did like a little bit of breathing, and I talked about, just being calm and taking a deep breath and coming together. So what I have learned over the last couple of weeks is, in person, I feel like I am more my authentic self than when I'm on Zoom. And here's why. And I did a little poll in my Connect and Elevate Facebook group and asked people, do you feel like you put on your extrovert hat from time to time? And more than not, people have said yes, but I'm aware of it and I can shift quickly. So I want to, full confession, say that when I'm on Zoom, not today, because I feel really good and I feel really calm and like laid back to talk to you all about this, is when we put on our extrovert hat and psych ourselves up. It's one thing to show up in that energy and then calm down. And it's another thing to show up in that energy and just start spewing words. Like, I feel like in the past, I show up on Zoom and I psych myself up so much that I forget what I'm talking about. I do have notes, but that's just who I am. I like having notes. Forget what I'm talking about. I'm asking myself in my head, am I making sense? Am I trying to pay attention to the other person talking? And so I invite you to think about, if you are an introvert, do you depend, is it Zoom? Is it in person? Is it when you're meeting someone new? Think about a time where you put on your extrovert hat, where you weren't truly your authentic self. And what did that look like? For me, what it looks like is, after I'm done on a Zoom call, I'm completely exhausted and want to go take a nap. Granted, I like taking naps, so that's just in my DNA, is to take naps. But think about a time that extrovert hat shifted your energy into something that wasn't aligning with your heart and wasn't aligning with yourself. A week after that, I go into doing my Reluctant Beacon masterclass, and I feel calm. I feel like I know what I'm talking about. And I walk into the Zoom room, and, it's a smaller group, which, as an introvert, I'm all about it. Small groups are for me, one-on-one. The bigger groups are a little bit they're just challenging sometimes. Other times they're not. And we went into the Zoom and started having conversations, introducing ourselves. And I was surprised to hear someone, after sharing this story with them, someone said, I actually appreciate your energy. It's so laid back. If you were to ask, anyone that knows me, laid back is not quite the word that anyone would describe me. I honestly wouldn't describe myself as being laid back, except that's what I've been striving for. I've been striving for, the less worry, the, less uptight and anxious and getting all crazy about stuff. Ask my husband, he'll tell you I've been working on it, but I have not been 100% successful. So I was in this Zoom masterclass, and whenever someone said that, I was like blown away. I'm like, this is what I've been striving for. This right here, right now is it. Like, I want to be me, and being me is actually laid back. I don't really like being anxious, and I don't like to always be doing. I don't like to always be under pressure. But what has happened is those are habits that throughout the years, these are habits that have come up, and that's just how I get stuff done. I get stuff done when I'm under pressure. I am a procrastinator, although I have to say in the recent couple of months, procrastination has really come up a couple times, and it like builds up that pressure, and I've actually shut down and I'm not moving forward. And I'm like, this is interesting, right? All awareness. How is it that I am not performing under pressure? I've procrastinated. This is what I do. And then like magically everything happens and falls into place. So I really want you to think about that. Think about that extrovert hat. I was actually pleasantly surprised that I'm not the only one. And of course, I wrote a book, Intropreneur, talking about how to build your business by being your authentic self. And I talk about having that extrovert hat on. I used to, long time ago, in person, just to like psych myself up and go talk to a whole bunch of people, because that's what I was supposed to be doing. I remember that. And so what is it about Zoom that has me psyching myself up, not even, it is subconsciously putting on my extrovert hat? And, I was talking to someone, I was talking about, well, this is a whole other topic, but midlife crisis, but I called it midlife upgrade. So it's your midlife upgrade. But I was talking to her about Zoom, and she is also an introvert entrepreneur. And she said, I feel the same way, and I hadn't really thought about it. But because when you're in person, you really can feel other people's energy, and you really don't have to give a whole lot of effort to how you're feeling. If you're feeling good, people are gonna feel that. But on Zoom, it could be very different, where you're trying to put out more energy so that people can feel you. And that was her experience. And it just made me wonder, how many other people out there are struggling with, whether it's Zoom or in person, whatever it is, but struggling with putting on your extrovert hat as an introvert woman entrepreneur. So being your authentic self, just, aligning with what feels right. And so you might be saying, well, Jen, what does that mean? And it's almost a contentment in your heart. It's a place where you can show up and you're okay. And I'll use the word vulnerable. I don't have a better word for it, but you're showing up and you're raw. You're showing up and people are seeing, your imperfect perfections. As a recovering perfectionist, that is something that I also talk about. When we are being our authentic self, we have a tendency to, really open our eyes, maybe a little, magnifying glass, to sort of like, where am I? Where do I need to work on and be more aware of? And that's been one thing that I've been more aware of now, is watching for those, I say recovering perfectionist, but I feel like there's times when I'm like, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm not putting something out there because it's not quite right. So really aligning with your heart and what feels good. I'll give you another example. In January, I was thinking about doing a group program. And I'm just like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, I'm excited about it, but I just think pushing pause right now is really aligning with who I am and what I want to offer into the world. What do you want to offer to the world? It's something that you yourself have to feel joyful about, excited. I talk about fun. Has to be fun. And I don't mean, I usually think, when I think of fun, I think of an extrovert fun, like going out and celebrating and lots of energy and lots of people. But fun can actually just be you and somebody else, just having a good time and enjoying yourself. So what are you doing in your personal life? What are you doing in your business that is fun, joyful, and exciting? And that right there just aligns with your heart and aligns with your authentic self. And then you're truly happy. Granted, there are days that I go, for example, 2 days ago, I'm like, I'm almost done this book. I'm just going to shelf it. It's fine. I'm just going to shelf it. I'm not going to put it out into the world. And I'm like, that sounds just terrible. That doesn't even feel good. But my brain, right? Because, our thinking brain always has something to say about everything. And I had to sort of say, no, that doesn't feel right. So I would just really, I challenge you to think about what you're doing in your personal life, in your business, that you feel good about. I do want to touch a little bit on energy, because that is so important, your energy awareness. So as an introvert, we go inward to get our energy, and what that looks like for everyone is a little bit different. But I would challenge you also to think about what brings you energy. What can you do that fills you up? And fills you up, I think last time I talked about your phone charger and it going into red, and then, just enough to kind of get it into the black. We're going into the holiday season, which can be really stressful for people. So what can you do to really prepare for, being with the in-laws, or maybe you're not together this year and that's stressful, but you're on Zoom, or you're entertaining, you're feeding a bunch of people, whatever it is, take a moment to say, okay, I'm going to make sure that my energy is filled up so that I can do the things that need to get done. For me personally, after Christmas, because I celebrate Christmas, after Christmas, I have basically cleared my entire calendar. There's just a couple of things that I have to get done. I've cleared my entire calendar, and a couple of days are actually blocked off for just me. My husband is actually also on vacation, so that works out really, really well. So as we're going into the holidays, just, think about how you can bring forth, your 100% battery level. So then you're not feeling completely depleted and needing a lot of time to recharge. So what I also have to talk about is I have some notes, and it's the 4 pillars of the book, Intropreneur, and that is your authentic self, energy awareness, your relationships, and referrals. So those are the 4 pillars that we are going to be talking about. I did touch a little bit on the energy, which will be our second pillar and our second time that we talk together. Intropreneur will be dropping in January. And if you want to get on the wait list, it's intropreneur.com/wait. When you sign up to get the news as to when the book actually goes live, you will also get an email immediately with the Introvert Energy Toolkit for you to use, especially as we're going into the holidays. And I'll also pop that in the show notes and also in the comments. So I really appreciate everyone coming in. If there's any questions, we're going to take a few minutes here to review those and see if there's anything out there that people want to hear about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. That was so, enlightening for, I think, everybody. And I've been following along with us in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group on the chat, and just talking with some of the people who've been joining us over there. And everybody really is dropping a lot of hearts and really resonating with what you're talking about being on Zoom and being different from how you would be if you were doing the same content in an in-person setting. And I get it, because you do have to bring a higher level of energy when you're broadcasting through the World Wide Web. Am I right? It's definitely a little bit different, and being able to manage that energy and to know the difference between, well, am I depleting my energy in order to be this person that I am not, as opposed to just bringing whatever is authentic for you to your audience. I have learned a long time ago that just bringing authentically me is the only way that I can survive, because guess what? It takes too much energy to be the other thing. So when you're talking about this, I was just like in the background, like, yes, Absolutely get it. It makes perfect sense. So I'm really glad that you've been able to share this. People are dropping comments like so true. But Zev, who, as you know, is our energy goddess in our Ladies Power Lunch group, says, who needs energy? I can rent mine to any event creators in this group. And everybody knows Zeph is all energy all the time. And that's one of the reasons why we love her so much. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for your comments and lots of laughter going on over in the Facebook group.
Awesome. I'll go in and check it out.
Absolutely. I'm really, really excited, Jen, to have you as one of our Visibility Circle members who is taking part in this collaborative podcasting experience where we get to share with our audience some of just the amazing women that are available for them to connect with and work with inside of our Ladies Power Lunch group. So thank you for saying yes to being part of this project. Just a couple of questions before you go so that people can kind of connect with who you are. Tell us something about Jen that we probably don't know, but we would be a little bit surprised to find out. Putting you right on the spot there, Jen. What
you're putting an introvert on the spot who is like, what people don't know. Let's see. I used to, before my real estate business, before Connect and Elevate, I used to work for a municipality doing infrastructure work. So I was, on the streets doing streetscape work.
So bridges and tunnels
and writing grants. Yeah.
Awesome. So you have some grant writing expertise in your back pocket that I don't know, there might be an opportunity for us to take advantage of somewhere down the line. This is great news. It's always good. And one of the things that I talk about a lot in this group is that we have so much expertise among our women and a few men in this group because a lot of us have come to doing what we're doing from a previous career or previous two careers, or we might have graduate degrees in things that we don't use all day long in our businesses. So getting to know each other in that really deep and meaningful way is important because you never know what information, you never know what knowledge might be able to be shared with you. That might be the thing that takes your business from here to exactly where you need it to be. How amazing is that? Jen, before we go, a couple of quick questions. Do's and don'ts for energy management. Rapid fire.
All right. So do pay attention to what brings you energy because what brings other people energy may not be the same for you. And don't deplete yourself that it's going to take you a long time to rejuvenate, because that is where life becomes a lot more difficult, because then you're just charging right above the red and then you're always in the red, always in the red, always exhausted. And maybe it's time to evaluate, why are you there? And what can you do to make some changes in your life that will help you?
Any resources, in addition to your book and your course, any resources that you think people can connect with? How about your free gift about energy management? Can you tell us how we can connect with that?
Sure. And so you can hop onto FEM, intrapreneur.com/wait. You get on the wait list and you get the energy toolkit right in your email. It's a PDF document. You don't have to do anything else. And I always suggest for introverts to take a look at some of the great books that are out there. One of them will be mine when it's on the shelf. But I really loved The Secret Life of Introverts. It was really wonderful, and I actually used part of that book in mine because I think it's important to know what kind of introvert you are. So if you like quizzes, go and check out the Secret Life of Introverts and check out that book and the quiz that is at the beginning of it.
I love that. Thank you. Final words of wisdom to impart upon our waiting souls.
So some inspiring words is take a deep breath, being the moment, and enjoy life as it is.
Enjoy life as it is. There is nothing more perfect than that statement. Thank you so much, Jen. We look forward to seeing you on the next time we have our Ladies Power Lunch coffee break, we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus just for the holidays, and then we'll be right back here come January for Ladies Power Lunch coffee break. And Jen will be breaking it down for us exactly how we can build our business using her 4 principles. Looking forward to seeing you, Jen, for your next episode. And guys, I'll catch you all on the next show. Bye, everybody.